Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Michelle with Fun in Key West, and thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to do something a little different than we normally do for a Tuesday. Normally, Tuesday is a Tasty Tuesday. Well, we'll talk a little bit about food today, but the focus today is going to be on sunset sails. When I first started going to Key West, I did some research, and this is what attracted me to go to Key West for the first time. This is a place that celebrates sunset every night. I mean, every night sunset is celebrated. You get a cocktail, you toast the day, and there was just something about that vibe that really attracted us to explore Key West. And you know what? We've never stopped going. So I thought I'd explore some of the different sunset options, because when you start to explore Key West and want to experience a sunset, there's so many options and you just don't know where to start. So let's dig into them. If you're watching me live, be sure to say hi so I can do a shout out. If you are listening on our podcast, thank you so much for listening, and be sure to subscribe so that you get more of this information. So like I was saying, only in Key West do they throw a party every night for sunset. And you know what? It never gets old. But the real magic is seeing the sunset from the water. Yeah, I know. On land, you can explore it and see it from the Mallory Square perspective. So you have the jugglers and the food carts and the live music. But on the water, it's peaceful, it's panoramic, and it feels like the sun is just putting on a private show for you. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that there are over 200 boats gathered offshore for sunset every night? It's like a floating celebration. Those can be private people, those can be charters, but there's always a ton of boats out there. And you can go from luxury private charters to a tiki boat that floats, that's a tiki bar, that's a boat, that it's out on the water. Oh, we'll talk about it. We'll dig into it. Let's walk through some of the best sunset sails and what each one offers. Like I said, first, you can always, and I always say this, always have at least one night at Mallory Square to enjoy sunset. It's the way that Key West designed sunset to be celebrated from the land. It hosts it every night at Mallory Square. You've got the jugglers, like I said, and it's been happening nightly since the 1960s. But, like I said, from the waters, you get uninterrupted views, nobody standing in your way, and you just get amazing photos and experiences. Be sure to look for the green flash. Is it a myth? Actually, it's not. It's a rare optical, I'm going to try that again. It's a rare optical phenomenon, and it happens as the sun dips right below the horizon. It's science. Don't ask me to explain it, but it does exist. It doesn't happen every night, but like I said, it's a rare phenomenon. Sometimes the lore is if you see the green flash, then you're destined to come back to Key West. Forget that. You're always destined to come back to Key West. Captains will always point it out. Hey, keep your eyes out. You might get lucky to see it tonight. My first sunset sail was on Danger Charters, and we did the Wind and Wine sail. This was a phenomenal introductory experience. It's luxury at not so much of a luxury price, but the experience is unbelievable. Most of these sunset sails are about 2 hours, so gauge that. On Danger's Wind and Wine, it's about 25 people, so it's very limited. It's intimate, it's upscale. You'll get to sample wines, and they have craft beers, and they have some cheese trays, fruit trays, some crackers and things like that. Usually some peel and eat shrimp. Sunset sails are not where you're going to go have dinner and fill up. This is your appetizer or a very light snacked dinner because you had a large lunch. Just keep that in mind. You're not going to go on board and eat a lot of food. The crew on Danger is amazing. They'll walk you through the wines. They'll walk you through the craft beers. If you don't drink, don't worry. They have water and sodas and all of that on board as well. But you're able to really get in there and enjoy it. Word to the wise, maybe it's experience talking. You combine, it's kind of like flying. You combine the water, the movement of the water, and drinking. Watch yourself, pace yourself. You don't have to try everything that they're offering. If you find one you like, just stick there and say, hey, I'm good here. Or maybe I'll have another one of these. Or just stick to your limit. There is no, don't feel pressured that you have to have everything that is on their tasting menu. This is a great opportunity. Sometimes the guests can help raise the sales. Imagine the photo opportunity on that one. And it's quiet, it's relaxing. You can really hear the wind in the sails and just have that true experience. Again, this was my first experience on a sunset sail, and it's still one of my very favorites. The next one, this is probably a pretty close second, is the Schooner America 2.0. It's a 105-foot modern replica of the original America schooner. And that was the ship that won the first America's Cup in 1851. This ship is eco-friendly. It uses lightweight materials that it's built out of and electric propulsion. So it's quiet. It has no engine hum. It offers a very smooth sail. When Kevin first said, hey, Michelle, let's go on this schooner sail, and he was telling me all about how it worked and everything, I'm prone to seasickness, and it was like, I don't know if this is going to be one that I'm going to really like, but I'll tell you what, the ride was smooth, and you just learn so much about sailing when you're on board the America 2.0. If you get an opportunity, go ahead and take that. Sometimes you get an opportunity to steer or hoist the sails on this one as well. Great photo opportunities, and it's something that you can go back and talk a lot about. The original, here's a fun fact, the original America was so fast that the British said it was unsporting. The 2.0 honors that legacy with style and grace for sure. Another one, if you're looking for a smaller, more intimate experience, you have the Floridays. And that's a 60-foot yacht. It's limited to very small groups. I think it's 14. It's under 20, so don't quote me, but I think it's under 20. They offer wine and beer and margaritas and I think champagne. They do not have food at this time. If they do, it's very, very light snacks, so feel free to bring your own snacks on board. They have a tranquil vibe and very friendly crew and an amazing experience. This is because there's fewer people and you can move around the boat easier. This is a great one to take if you're out for the photography and for the vantage points and seeing something amazing. Okay, now you're saying, Michelle, these sound great, but they seem awfully quiet and subdued. And I don't know, that just don't seem like something I want to do. I want to be out there and do something more. If you're in the mood for a dinner cruise, Sunset Water Sports does offer a dinner cruise. It's aboard their 65-foot Gold Coast yacht. And they offer a buffet dinner, open bar, live music. They have a cabin inside that offers AC. So if it is a summer day and it's a little warm, you can go cool off. And they have the open air upper deck for sunset viewing. And it's perfect for groups if you're wanting to actually have dinner at sea and have some dancing. So that's something to explore. But if you're looking for something that is the party boat, and if you are watching sunset at Mallory Square and you see Fury's sail go by on that catamaran, that is Commotion on the Ocean. That is a 65-foot catamaran. They offer the live local bands. You can hear them from Mallory Square and a full bar. They usually have peel and eat shrimp, sliders, nachos, light snacks, not a full dinner, just light snacks. This is Key West, one of Key West's most popular party sailboats. You're going to sail past Sunset Key and Fort Zac, and the band is just going to keep playing some classic island music. Catamarans are super stable, so if you are prone to seasickness, this is the one that I would suggest you take first. It's very stable. It doesn't rock or tilt as the other sailboats do. And of course, they also offer a champagne sunset cruise. And so they offer, instead of a lively island-focused band, they offer a little softer tunes and lighter crowds. If you want something that's really cool and absolutely unique, go out on one of the floating tiki bars. This is literally a tiki hut with a bar inside. You sit on stools and you go out there and it's a 6-passenger tiki boat. It's bring your own booze. It's BYOB, so they don't have any restrooms. They don't have any food or anything like that. They do provide ice and cups and a cooler. It's about a 90-minute tour with you get a captain. You just bring the good vibes, and you'll circle around the harbor. You can wave to passing boats and watch the sun sink while sipping your favorite drink that you have brought. Through and exploring, because after all, it's really cool. It's literally a tiki bar floating out in the water. And so it's a great thing to, if you've got a small group that you want to celebrate a birthday or a bachelorette party, or just have some fun, this is the thing you should do. If you're wanting to go into something, though, a little more luxurious and absolutely Florida Keys and Key West iconic, book a private sunset charter with Make It So. Captain Howie and his team over there do a phenomenal job. This is perfect for couples. You can only have up to 6 because boats only are up to carrying up to 6. You can do 2 types of trips. He'll offer a seaport route, which you just do the harbor sail, and it's calm. It's not a sailboat. It is an actual boat. So you go out there, it's calm, it's scenic. You can do that. But my favorite and my suggestion is do the sandbar sunset. I did not know what sandbars were until we started going to Key West. And I have to tell you, I can't even imagine not ever experience a sunset on a sandbar. So the sandbars are bars of sand that appear as the tides move in and out. And so you're shallow. You're standing in probably knee-deep water, if that, some places. You can put your chair out there. You can watch the sunset. You can put your toes in the ocean, and you have absolutely an unobstructed view of sunset. And it's just you guys. It's you as a couple. It's you as a group. Usually, Captain Howie does a really good job of providing a cheese board and some baked brie if you ask. Let him know what you're thinking. He'll bring whatever within reason, the ability to accommodate some of your requests. I think Captain Howie loves to tell his stories about the shipwrecks and the local wildlife. If you are traveling with your 4-legged friend, Captain Howie does allow your friend to come along. Just let him know. And he has Gabby. And Gabby may be able to come along as well. So just let him know. And so he can be accommodating on that. And so these sifting sandbars around Key West, these absolutely create a natural platform. And locals use them for beach parties and picnics. And you go out during the day with Captain Howie and his team, and you will absolutely love seeing some of the fun that occurs out there. So what are you going to see if you go out on one of these sunset sails? Some of the things that you're going to sail by would be Sunset Key. And that is where you can go over there to Latitudes for dinner. You take the ferry over there. But it used to be known as Tank Island because that's used to be where the Navy stored their fuel tanks during the Cold War. It was later sold and turned into a resort and places for private homes. And again, Latitudes is over there. It is amazing to be able to go around that backside if you can, and the weather allows for you to see the front side, the backside of Sunset Key. Another thing, as you're sitting at Mallory Square or you go up to the Shipwreck Museum lookout, you see another island out there. It looks like it's all deserted because it is. That's Wisteria Island. And that was formed in the early 1900s when they were dredging out the harbor. So that is the remnants of them dredging. It once hosted a small camp known as Shark Island. It's now uninhabited, but I bet there are a bunch of stories. But as you go by it, there are a lot of great photo opportunities out there. Of course, you're going to sail by the Fort Zach Taylor Park. You're going to see the fort. And it's a great beach, and it'll give you an idea of what you could see if you were to explore the fort from land. And of course, you'll also pass through by the southern tip of the island. And of course, you're going to sail by Mallory Square. You get to wave to everybody that is on Mallory Square, and you can literally hear the cheers as you wave and go by. Here's some insider tips and things to keep in mind about sunset sails. Book early. I'm not saying you have to book weeks in advance like you do for the dry tortugas, but if you are looking at the weather and you're saying, hey, this is going to be a great night for a sunset, we've already done Mallory Square, we've done Fort Zach, I think it's time for us to go out on the water and explore it. Book it earlier in the day, especially in winter and spring, because they do fill up early. Last minute, if you think at 4 o'clock we want to go out on a sunset cruise, you may not get it that day. Arrive early. That way you get, if there's limited seating, then especially like on Danger and Floridays, well, more like Danger, you're going to be able to then get a spot and figure out where you are. Don't worry about where you sit on sailboats Danger, because the captain does make sure both sides of the boat get to see everything. So don't worry about that you're going to have to switch sides to be able to see anything. I always say bring a pullover, dress in layers. In the winter, it does get cool out on the water. Even in the summer, there can be a bit of a nip. So I always suggest bring a pullover, bring layers, because it could cool down after sunset. The best golden hour light and the most pleasant breezes are obviously going to be from March to May. So if you are in Key West during those times, I highly recommend a sunset sail. Obviously, bring your camera. Your camera's attached to your phone, so of course you're going to have your camera with you. Think about having a strap on it. That way, if you drop it, you don't have to worry about it going over. It's attached to you. But if you're not one that is prone to drop your cameras, don't worry about it. If you are prone to seasickness, raise your hand if you are. That would be me too. Pick the catamaran to start with, because it does offer that more stable ride. But you're going to be able to determine the water isn't going to be real rocky. If it is, they're not going out. So don't worry about that. Many couples choose to go down a sunset sail because it's romantic. It's a nice way to reconnect. It's a nice way to do things. You're going to see proposals out there, maybe some vow renewals. I've seen people get married on board. So it's always fun. You never know. Just like every Key West sunset is different, every Key West sunset sail is different, because it depends on the sunset. It depends on who's on board. It just adds to that experience. You can, if that's something that you are intending to do, vow renewal, get married, propose, work with the captain, work with the charter company to see what you can do to make that happen. All of these that I'm talking about today, you can book directly from our website at FunInKeyWest.com and be able to, I'll put a link down below that you can tap into those sunset experiences. If you are needing help or trying to decide, feel free to reach out, DM me and say, hey, Michelle, I want to do something really special, or I just want to go out on my first sunset sail and I don't know which one to do. I'll give you some ideas. Don't worry about it. Keep in mind, weather can impact your sunset sail. So here's a few things that you can expect. Captains can cancel if the winds come up, because that happens a lot. Winds just come up. And if lightning starts to come out in the area, that is going to be unsafe to sail in. So they're not going to go out during that time. Calm breezes equals perfect conditions to be out for a sunset sail. If there's strong winds, of course, it's going to be dramatic waves, but that's really fun for the captains and the sailors, because they love getting those boats out there and really showing you what those boats can do in a little bit of a stronger wind. We've been aboard the America 2.0 when there were some strong winds, and I'll tell you what, the captain was having a blast showing us what that boat could do. Keep in mind, you can't control the clouds, neither can the captain. But sometimes, even if you're not having a crystal clear evening for that sunset, those clouds offer the opportunity for those colors to come aboard or come on after the sun sets. And sometimes those fiery pinks and purples are made even prettier with those clouds. So don't worry about the clouds. Again, every sunset is going to be different. So let me recap here. A lot of information. I'm going to put some more information below into the notes, but here's a recap. If you are a wine lover, highly suggest Wind and Wine with Danger Charters. Great opportunity to try some new wines and just have that moment of peace out on the water. If you love live music in a crowd, go to Fury's Commotion on the Ocean. Here's another tip. If you are traveling with kids, I'm going to say preteens Younger children, maybe, it depends on what your patience level is for keeping them entertained for about a 2-hour period on a boat. But especially preteens and teens, Fury's Commotion on the Ocean is not a bad choice for families. And I'll tell you why. When you're on Danger or some of the others, you are stuck in that seat that you sit in when you start. Whereas Fury's Commotion on the Ocean, you can wander around. So if you don't like who you're standing next to, you can always move. And it also allows, if you've got kids that are a little restless and can't sit for that long, on Commotion, you can actually move around and dance and do all kinds of things. So to me, that is the number one choice for families. If you're going for luxury and want to try something over the top, go with Make It So Charters. Actually, the price isn't going to be that much more, especially if it's a couple or a group, than you would have if you were just going out on Danger. So it's not that it feels luxurious, but it comes not at a luxurious price. If you're wanting to have a party and bring your own things and celebrate, try one of those tikis. I'm telling you, the floating tiki bar is so much fun. You will absolutely love that. And if you're a romantic couple and you're wanting just to celebrate you and the we that you are, try Floridays or America 2.0. So here's my advice. Don't just watch the sunset, sail into it. Trust me, it's absolutely the best seat in paradise. It's the best way to see a sunset in Key West is on the water. So of course, I'm going to tell you, head over to FunInKeyWest.com for a lot more tips and ideas. Free guides are over there. And again, there is all kinds of information about these sunset sails over there. Plus, you can book them directly there at no additional cost to you. Trust me, no additional cost. Until next time, may your sails be full, your drink be cold, and your sunsets be unforgettable. I'm Michelle with Fun in Key West. You guys have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you later.